Good morning class. Now today we will start the next chapter in the consumer equilibrium unit after the utility analysis and the indifference curve. Now that is theory of demand. So first of all understand the literal meaning of the demand. Here it is written one definition. It refers to the quantity of a commodity that a consumer is willing to purchase at a given price during a given period of time. That means the consumer is willing, that means he is ready to purchase, he is ready to buy the quantity of a commodity at a given price, that means whatever the price is available in the market and at the particular time period. So these, whatever the words I have underlined over here, these things are must in the definition. So the quantity which the consumer is ready to buy at the given price and at the given period of time, that is called demand. Now after that I have made one schedule and then diagram. First of all, see the schedule. Price is given 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and after that you can see when the price was 10, on that time the consumer consumes the 2 units of the commodity. When the price reduces from rupees 10 to 8, you can see that the consumer purchase more units of the commodity, that means from 2 to 4 his consumption increases. Then after that you can see when the price decreases more from 8 to 6, 6 to 4, 4 to 2, his consumption increases. He purchased more quantity from 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10. Because it is the normal tendency of the consumer, when the price is high, he consumes less. When the price reduces, he purchases more. So same thing we are showing in the diagram. Here on the x-axis we have written quantity demanded, that means what quantity which he has purchased, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and on the y-axis we are taking price. So when the price was 10, on that time he was consuming 2 units of the commodity. When price reduced from 10 to 8, he increases his consumption from 2 to 4 units. Similarly, when the price reduces more from 8 to 6, his consumption increases more from 4 to 6. Then more price decreases, he increases the consumption. So ultimately we can say that when price increases, quantity demanded decreases. When price decreases, quantity demanded increases. That means at the more price, less quantity of the commodity is purchased by the consumer, whereas when the price reduced, more quantity is purchased by the consumer. So there is an inverse relationship between price and the quantity demanded. You can see inverse relationship. When price increases, quantity reduces. When price decreases, quantity increases. So that means inverse relationship. That's why we can say that demand curve slopes downward from left to right. It is going downward because it shows a negative relationship. That means when price reduces from 10 to 8, so he increases his consumption more from 2 to 4. Then again price reduces 8 to 6, so he increases more units of the commodity from 4 to 6. That means if price reduces, consumption quantity demanded increases. If price increases, quantity demanded reduces. So this is the curve of an individual demand curve. That means this is the demand curve of an individual consumer. Now we are going to discuss market demand curve. Now the next one is your market demand. Market demand, that means it refers to the total quantity of a commodity that all the consumers are willing to buy at a given price within given time period. That means so many things we desire in our life. We want so many things, but how it turns into the demand? It turns into the demand when we are willing to buy. When we are willing, that means when we are ready to buy, because so many things we want in our life, but for few commodities only we are ready to spend money on those commodities. So that means this willingness shows when you are ready to buy at a given price or at the given time period, that becomes your demand. And market demand, that means earlier the definition which we read, that was the demand, that was the definition of a demand for the individual consumer. Now market demand, that means when all the consumers or all the households are ready, or maybe they are willing to purchase a quantity of a commodity at the given price, whatever the price is available in the market and at the given time period, then it is market demand. So with the schedule also we can explain. Price is given, this is the quantity demanded of a consumer. Maybe A is an individual consumer, B is an individual consumer, and in this way so many XYZ, so many consumers are there. So individual demand of a consumer, individual demand of the B consumer, and the individual demand of all the consumers, when we will add when we will add the demand of all the households or all the consumers, then we will get the market demand. So that's why we say it refers to the total quantity of a commodity that all the consumers are willing to purchase. Here also you can see price decreases, quantity demanded of the A consumer increases. Same thing, price decreases, quantity demanded by the B consumer is also increases. And here also you can see in the market demand, when the price decreases, quantity demanded increases, and when price increases, quantity demanded decreases. So same thing we are going to show in the diagram also. Here also you can see that first of all, the first curve is the individual demand curve of the A consumer. Then this is the individual demand curve of the B consumer. And after that you can see, after adding, when you will plot these points, that means here you can keep the quantity demanded of the A consumer price. Here also you can keep the quantity demanded of the B consumer units 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Then you will plot all these points, you will get the shape of the curve like this. After adding the quantity demanded of A and B, we will get the market demand curve. This is the market demand curve. So this is the market demand curve of the A and B consumer. That means by adding the quantity demanded of A and B, we will get the market demand curve for the all consumers. So this is your market demand curve. That means by adding all the consumers quantity demanded, we will get the market demand curve. Now the next topic is demand function. Demand function, that means on which factors the demand depends. So demand depends upon, first of all, Px, that is price of X commodity. Second one is PR, that means price of related goods. Y, that is income. T, taste and preferences. And E, that stands for future expectations. So here also it is written Px, that is price of X commodity. Okay, so basically demand function shows the functional relationship between the quantity demanded for a commodity and its various determinants or maybe the factors affecting. So these all are the factors. First of all, price of X commodity. Second one, price of related goods. Price of related goods, that means sometimes some other goods also affect to the demand of the given commodity. Two types of goods are these, substitute and the complementary goods. This I will explain you one by one. Every factor we will discuss one by one. Another factor, that is the income of the consumer. Yeah, this is also a very important factor which affect to the demand of the commodity. Sometimes superior and normal goods are there and some are the inferior goods. So income also affect to the consumption of both type of the commodity, both type of the goods. Fourth factor is taste and preference. Yeah, customers' taste and preference is very important. If we want the things, that means if we are giving the preference to that particular commodity, then we will purchase that commodity. If you are not giving the preference to that commodity, we will not purchase. E, future expectation, that means in future what will be the price of this commodity, so accordingly we will consume these goods in the given time period. So now let's start with the first factor I am going to start, that is the price of X commodity. Okay, so price of X commodity, here is the diagram. On the X axis I am taking quantity demanded of the X commodity and on the Y axis we are taking price. Now first of all we can see when the price is OP, on that time we can see the consumer was consuming only OQ units of the commodity. When price reduced from OP to OP1, that means this much reduction is there in the price, so consumer will consume more units of that commodity, so he will increase his consumption from OQ to OQ1. So the points will shift from A to B. That means when the price reduces, consumption increases. Similarly, when the price increases, consumption will reduces. So in short we can say, when the price increases, demand decreases. When price decreases, demand increases. Why the consumer behaves in this way? Why there is an inverse relationship between the price and the demand, or price and the quantity demanded? Because consumer is having the limited income. So that is why when the price increases, he will reduce the consumption, and when price decreases, he will increase the consumption of that commodity. So first of all, among these factors we discuss this first one, that is Px, that demand is the function of price of X. Now let's start discussing the price of the related goods. Now the second factor, Px is done. Now the second factor we are going to do price of related good. That means price of demand is the function of price of related goods. If other factors are remaining constant, so demand will be depend upon price of related goods. Now price of related goods, that means there are the two type of related goods. First of all, we will discuss the substitute goods. Substitute goods are those goods which can be used in place of each other. That means alternates are given, or maybe the consumer can satisfy his demand by using the another commodity, or maybe they are the competitive goods which can satisfy a given want with the equal ease. So that means if one thing is not there, so consumer can consume the another commodity also. So substitute goods example, you can take tea, coffee. Okay, that means if tea is not there, so you can use the coffee. So here also we are going to keep, first of all, on the OX axis I am keeping quantity of a coffee, and on the Y axis we are keeping price of the tea, because both are substitute goods to each other. We can replace each other. Okay, and we can use another commodity with the same ease also. Okay, so first of all, let's see, when the price of the tea was OP, when in the beginning the price of the tea is OP, on that time the consumer was consuming the quantity of the coffee, that is OQ. Okay, when the price of the tea increases from OP to OP1, if price of tea increases, so obviously what is the definition of the demand? When price increases, demand decreases. So obviously consumer will decrease the demand of the tea, and now he will increase the consumption of the coffee from OQ to OQ1, because tea is costly as compared to the coffee. There is no change on the price of the coffee, only the price of the tea increases from OP to OP1. So the consumer will reduce the consumption of the tea and he will shift his consumption from tea to coffee. So he will increase his consumption of coffee from OQ to OQ1. So this is the substitute goods. Substitute goods are those goods which can be used in place of each other. If tea is costly, the consumer will consume more of coffee. Okay. Now the next one is the complementary goods. Complementary goods are those goods which can be used together. Without the one thing, another one is of no use. Just like car and petrol, gas and gas stove. Another example, pen and ink. So same example even I am also taking. On the x-axis I have taken quantity of the pen, and on the y-axis I have taken the price of ink. Both the things are used together. If one thing is costly, another commodity's demand will automatically be affected. So in the beginning, when the price of ink was OP, on that time the consumer was consuming the quantity of pen OQ. When price of pen ink increases from OP to OP1, on that time, because now the ink is costly, so obviously it will affect to the demand of the pen also. So the consumption of the pen also will be affected. So the quantity of the pen will be reduced, because both the things are used together. Similarly, if the price of the petrol increases, so definitely it will affect to the demand of the car also. So that is why the points will shift from A to B. So that is why the shape of the demand curve for the complementary goods is negative, and the shape of the demand curve for the substitute good is positive. Now see these diagrams. Now rest of the factors we will discuss by tomorrow.